Okay. So, since we're starting an attack, I'll just go over some quick, like, attacker, I guess, some good angles, and some, like, general things you can do. I'll just use Zofia, because why not? So, I guess for spawning, my favorite spawn is Park, because I think that's the safest spawn. There's only one real angle that you have to watch out for. Well, there's really like two, but usually people don't do them because they're not confident enough or they're kind of stupid regardless. So, what I usually do is I walk up past this van, shoot this default cam. The only angle you have to watch out for is right here, because sometimes some retard will jump out and try contesting like this area. It's not as powerful as it used to be, so a lot of people don't do it anymore. Like I don't do it anymore. Then sometimes someone will have like a punch hole on this garage here, and they'll just be like laying prone and waiting for someone to come around the corner to shoot you. So if you see like a hole like this, always make sure you like pre-fire it. It'll look something like that. It'll be very similar, and you'll just come around the corner, you'll see this hole, and you'll just pre-fire it. Another thing you have to worry about is, let's say you want to attack this window. So there are actually two sites where, there are two sites on this map where the bomb is in this room. So actually this is one of the sites. So a common thing to do is to like attack this window with like a Blackbeard, hold this angle here, you know, swing, and try and play around this window. The problem is this door. What a lot of defenders do, myself included, is if they get a call out from a teammate that there is, you know, someone playing on that window, they can come down here, hit this barricade, and shoot the person who's playing on the window. So that's something you have to keep in mind if you're going to play across this window. A good thing to do is to have, you know, a teammate push up white stair, or, you know, just be mindful of this if you have no teammates left. So that's just something you have to worry about. Now, in terms of a powerful angle, what I like to do on this map is if the objective is top floor, or not even top floor, like let's say you assume that someone is playing up here. Sometimes if you hit the very top of this window, someone will be playing in this hallway, and I just like to open this up real quick and take a few, you know, see if there's someone there and catch them off guard. Usually you won't get a lot of kills from this, but you know, this is something that you can do. Another thing you can do is reverse repel on this and just kind of hold this angle. This isn't a really powerful angle though, because they can have a elevation like up here, I believe. You can stand on top of something and they might be able to see your head, and you're not really able to see them as easy. So this isn't really like the best angle, but it does work. Another thing you have to be worried about when you're playing like on this angle or reverse repelling is that some people like to jump out of these two windows, mostly this one, and kill people who are on repel. And then some people also like to run out of this doorway. So what I usually do if I'm playing those windows, I like to claymore right here. Because like I said, some people like when they hear a call out, they'll come out here and try shooting at you. This claymore is also really difficult to shoot. They have to do something like this. Might be able to make this better, actually. I think that's actually the best you can do. Yeah. It's very hard to hit. I can see like a little tip of it, but it's very difficult to hit. You don't want to put it on the other side because I'm pretty sure it's really easy to shoot. Yeah, this one's really easy to shoot. But that's like the best way you can do it with the claymore. An experienced player will probably still be able to shoot it out, but at least you'll hear the sound when they shoot the claymore. Now I'm going to show you a really powerful angle. This is for the top floor site and then like library, so this area. So basically what you do, come down here, make sure to shoot this default cam right there. So for this one, the things you have to worry about is someone running out here, but they typically don't do that. And then someone running out from this window. So what I like to do when I'm playing on this specific spot is I'll claymore this, so if someone gets greedy, they just get instantly killed. And then what I do is I come right here, I break open this window, and then you can play this angle. what this does is it allows you to like kind of, you know, see into this spot right here. I actually think it used to be better. Sometimes the client-side debris will like fuck you over. This isn't like what always happens when you break the window. But the more important thing is that if you hold this angle here, people like to come on this awning and just like peek the hatch on this side, and you can easily just one-tap them right there. So this angle is really powerful like early in the round. And then obviously once you're done, if you're attacking up top, you can come up here for the hatches. Another thing that I would advise against, this is a common thing to do. People like to, you know, peek on the skylight over here. I would advise against this unless you have someone droning for you, because a common spot is someone holding an angle right there. And once you, like, you know, approach the skylight, they will just one-tap you. That's something that I like to do a lot. I like to play here. And you can see into the, like, freezer area, but it's kind of a risk-reward type scenario. Just make sure you're droning before you peek this, because you can get caught off guard really easily. Then obviously there are 2 hatches here that you want to break. You want to break this one, but the more important one is this one. For up top, the common thing that people do is they like to reinforce these 2. So typically if they're up top, you want to have a thermite come here and break open this wall so you can get entry into piano. Typically, there might be a bandit playing here, just kind of like putting his bandit charges down. So if that's the case, you want people to basically attack these windows. So if I'm playing on attack, I usually break open this window, maybe break open this to just apply more pressure, and then have someone drone me, because usually there's a person playing like here on defense, or even like a person playing in this corner like a bandit, you know, to deny a thermite. And basically you just want to like use these 2 windows and maybe even this window to clear this corner, and then if someone for some reason is playing like in this area, which I don't really think this is a good spot, but you gotta be wary of someone being stupid, especially at lower ranks. But yeah, once you take control of this, you have a lot more freedom to maneuver around the map, because the plant spot for this particular site, you can open up this wall with a thermite or a soft breach and plant right here. So that's why people like taking a piano. Plus it just helps, you know, prevent them from flanking you, because if you don't take this and let's say instead you're just trying to like drop on site, you're just going to get killed by someone who's flanking in piano. Like this hatch, for instance, if you drop here, someone could be in piano and just kill you on a crossfire. So that's something you have to keep in mind. Other general things, if you drop down here, a common spot that people like to play is this awning, but specifically in this corner right here. When I play on defense, a really common thing that I do, even if I'm not thinking about playing in here, is sitting in this corner and kind of making some like melee holes. Unless they patched it, which I don't think they did. Maybe they did. But typically what people would... No, they didn't. Okay, what people would do is they'll play like right here and hold this angle. And once people drop, they can literally just pre-fire them. Or not pre-fire them, but just hold the angle. And it's kind of difficult to see, so that's just something that you should definitely keep in mind. I'm not sure how many people still use that tactic, but that's just something to think about. So when you drop this hatch, immediately start looking for this and maybe like, you know, someone holding there. And then obviously you want to make sure, if you don't have like piano control, you need to make sure you watch out for your flank. But when you're dropping down for this thermite, make sure you drone the bottom of red stairs. And then another thing to do is like put a claymore or something to kind of watch your ass. But this is typically what I do for this site. A good thing to do is to have, you know, probably like 2 or 3 people push here to help the thermite and then take control of this. So one person dropping to help the thermite, so 2 people here, a person on the window, and then a person either on the skylight just kind of like, you know, taking control, and then having a person come up white stairs, you know, slowly to kind of help pressure the back end. Or you can have 2 people even play white stairs instead of having a person up top, because like I said, the skylight is usually not the play. Another thing you could do is you can have people take control of piano. Instead of doing a white stair or a red stair push over there, you can have those 2 people from over there drop down this hatch and basically try to take control of this area, like freezer. So that's just a general thing I would do. I'd say for operators on the top site, you definitely need like a Thatcher Thermite. Blackbeard is also really strong on these 2 windows, and then a soft breach like Sophia, Sledge, Buck is pretty good if they leave these walls soft. Something you have to worry about is Mira. Mira is fairly strong on this site. A common thing that people do is they make a rotate hole here, then make a rotate hole here, and then have like a mirror wall watching in piano. So our team specifically likes banning Mira on this site. That's the top floor site. I guess the next time I'm on attack, I can talk more about this site, but I think we're moving to defense shortly. I would say the strongest site's the very top site, and then the second strongest site is kitchen. So I guess on the next attacker defender rotate, I'll talk about kitchen, which is this site on attack. And then the other two sites are kind of just whatever you prefer more. I would say for newer players, the library and forget what the other site is called. That's probably better. I'll take a look once we see what they are. Okay, cool, we're switching. So, yeah, bar and cocktail is the strongest site, and then kitchen and cooking is the second best site, and then after that, I would say personally for my team, we like reading room and fireplace, but fireplace mining isn't terrible by any stretch. I'm going to actually go ahead and play castle here. And the reason for this is because there's a very good strat for castle. So what my team likes to do, we like to reinforce this wall here. Then castle barricade this. And then open up this wall. And put barbed wire right here so that if someone wants to like push this, they either have to break the castle or they have to go here and then we just kill them. Because what we end up doing is we play behind this bar with a deployable shield right there, and that way we can hold this main area here, and then we can also hold if someone tries to push us from here due to the barbed wire. And because we have this reinforcement here, it forces people to either break the castle barricade, or if they don't have anything to break it, they have to go through this barbed wire, and it's just an easy kill. You want to put a barbed wire here, and you want to reinforce these two. So keeping count, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This hatch here makes 8. And then your last two reinforcements, you can either put on these two if you want to kind of just, have some insurance. Like, let's say someone loses bakery control. This is bakery. The reason why we don't personally do that is because we like having a rotate hole here and reinforce this. And that basically just allows us to, let's say we know we're having a lot of pressure, that just allows us to kind of just retreat back into sight. Obviously, then you have this area open here, but I mean, it's not really a huge deal because usually it's really difficult to have someone die back here, assuming you have like a good player here. To hold bakery, you obviously need castle for this barricade, and then you can put like a dock or like a Jaeger or Wamai here, because ideally you want to put like Jaegers here because people are gonna open up this barricade here and try and basically throw like grenades and stuff at you back here. So that's something you have to keep in mind. For other stuff, we like to shotgun. I don't have a shotgun, so I can't really show you, but we like to shotgun the bottom of this. And the reason why is because it makes stuff like this. So if someone is pushing over here, and let's say they push into here, ideally you can see the very bottoms of their feet and just basically wallbang them. And it's really hard for someone, come in here and like prone and like look for your feet, because obviously, it's not really a good thing to do because you can just get instantly headshotted from someone playing like right here, for instance. Then another good thing about this rotate hole is that if your player here, dies, and let's say you get the call that they're pushing in, you can immediately peek this and try getting the refrag, or like peek like this. Another thing just to keep in mind is that it's a good idea to play the bomb. Like, let's say if someone is pushing in here, but you have like diffuser over here. I like to do stuff like this, just like playing the bomb, making it harder to hit people. Another thing you could do is you can actually play in here to, help the people in bakery. It's not a bad idea, but not something you really need. A common thing that people do on attack, besides trying to take bakery, is they like to thermite this wall. So that's why I usually bring a Cade or a bandit to either bandit trick this, or just to have, bandits on here. And they also like breaking this hatch and basically dropping into freezer. So typically the way our team plays this, we have 1 to 2 people in like, you know, site or bakery. So we have like 1 person playing site, one person playing in bakery. Then we have a person roaming in this area to kind of deny people from like breaking this wall. So like I would like, let's say if I'm like a pulse or something, or just like a roamer, I could play in here and wait to see if they like try to break this wall and just kind of play around these angles. The only thing you have to worry about is if you're here is this area here, because people like to go through these windows. So if you're like a dock would be good, really good here. I usually play this as a dock because I can hold this long area with an ACOG, and then I can hold, you know, this with an ACOG, and then even if like people are pushing here, I can just hold this area with an ACOG, or even like behind bar. The thing you have to worry about here is this window leads to outside, this doorway leads to outside, and then people can come in here or here. So this is like a really difficult like position to play, but it's really rewarding if you're very good. You also have to worry about people coming down here and trying to flank you. That leads to like the other 2 players, because like I said, there's gonna be like 2 site, 1 playing down there. Then you should have like 2 people roaming. You should have like a person like holding this area, because this is a common place where people like to impact, you know, and try to like shoot from above into the kitchen. So you should have like 1 person playing in here. And then your last person, you can either put them towards site, put them near the staircase, you know, kind of help the dock, because like they can just kind of like, you know, hold these angles, you know. But you're gonna have a person like holding this area. But this is morely to like help the dock over here. You can also push in here is this window to help the dock out, or whoever's playing over there. That's something that we run as a team. As for operator picks, like I said, Jaeger's a good pick, Doc is a good pick, Bandit for these 4 walls over there. Castle, if you're doing this castle strat, which I would recommend because it's really good. So that's what, 4? Let's see, Castle, Jaeger, Bandit, Doc, and then your last pick, I would pick like a Maestro or something, because I just think Maestro's a good pick. As for like cam recommendations, I don't usually play Maestro, so that's something you'll just have to find out for yourself. But usually to deny plant, like so somewhere in sight, or like long hallways, so you get more intel.
Are you gonna eat that pizza?
I'm good.
Oh.
Yeah, that's basically this site. I guess I'll just move on to the up top site. Oh, and then for general castle barricades, so like I said, one thing that people like to do is they like to take this window. You can put a castle here to just help your dock, because like I said, if they go through that, they're basically dead. So we like to put a castle right here. And then as for your last castle, I typically don't like castling sight. So another thing you can do is, if you don't want to hold this area, you can castle this off, but I typically recommend against it, because that way they have like, when they come through here and see this castle, they feel more like comfortable, because they don't have to worry about this angle as much. So for your last castle, I would put it like somewhere to just help the dock, basically, or like, you know, another player. Like you could put it like here if you want, you know, like here. Oh, as for other reinforcements, you can also put 2 reinforcements here. I didn't really think about this. This is a good thing to do, because if you put 2 reinforcements here and a castle barricade, they have to waste their utility to break this castle. And on top of that, they can't just break this garage open and like enter through here and get an angle on your player over here. So that's just something to bear in mind. Alright, so we'll just go over the up top site. I'm not going to go over these sites, you guys can just figure that out, but I'll go over the up top site real quick. So I typically put a barbed wire here. An angle to think about is this, because if they go up the stairs, you know, you can just pop them. That's a good thing to do. I like to put a rotate here, so you can get into freezer better. Then as for reinforcements, we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the last 2. The last 2 is kind of like however you want to play it. You don't really need them, but I would probably put them like, for example, like 1 here, and then maybe if you want to have someone just like holding his, like 1 here. That's what I would do. A good angle right here for like watching the skylight is to post up right here. this is a headshot angle. If someone peeks this, you can just hit them in the face. Like I said, you can do this thing here, where you kind of like open this up. Like, even if you're not going to play that, I usually open this up just to like fuck with people. What else can you do? I like having like a player play in here, because you can get sight lines here, you can get sight lines here, like when people drop this hatch, and you can just hold this really well. You have to be worried about this thermite breaking this wall, but they typically break this wall anyways, so you can also kill them while they're planting. We usually play a bandit in here, and then have someone play on or near this wall, or like near white stairs, so that way they can help the bandit kill these guys peeking the windows, and then the bandit purely just denies this wall. So that's what, 3 players? The last 2 players, one can be roaming underneath, watching white stair, or I'm sorry, reds. Is this white stair? This is white stair. So watching white stair, they can be playing up here. Some people like to open up these windows, so you can try and contest this or this. And then the last player can either roam red stair, you know, try and catch people off guard who are going here, you know, like come up these stairs. Or they can just play on site with like a maestro cam or something. So for recommendations for operators for this site, I like Maestro, Doc, Bandit. Jaeger's always a good pick until they nerf him, I guess. And just in general, whatever you can think of. I'd say Bandit is probably the most important on this site. And Maestro's really good, obviously. And those are basically those 2 sites. I'll just briefly go over how to attack kitchen, and then I think I'll wrap that up. There's probably a couple other angles that I could talk about, but I don't really think they're that necessary. So I'll just go with sledge so I can show like some angles, I guess, on kitchen. So you typically won't see people playing this castle strat that my team likes to play, because usually you have to have like coordination for that, which you guys can get because you know you have a 5-stack. So if we're attacking kitchen, obviously get this cam. Good thing to do is, like I said, if they didn't reinforce these 2, I like to open this up, like regardless if we're pushing that or not, because it just, you know, adds some pressure. Like I said, people typically hold this hallway or like in here, but some people also like to play in here and just hold this angle, so that's something you have to be aware about. I would always drone this first before you just knock this open. And I would always be careful of this spawn peek. But like I said, some people like doing this. It's a really ballsy spawn peek because, you know, people expect this now. But your ideal to basically attack kitchen is to open up this wall with a thermite, but in order to do that, you have to gain control of this area first. So like have someone playing like up here, you know, or like watching this, like one maybe up the stairs and like one watching this hallway, and then maybe one player like up white stairs, so that way you can thermite this. And then once you thermite this, you know, you have access to this, but obviously people are going to be waiting here. So another thing that we like to do when we play this is then go up here, you know, watch out for roamers, obviously, you got to roam clear with drones. But once you get here, if this isn't reinforced, you can either thermite this, Habana it, or sledge it, depending on if it's reinforced or not, and this just puts more pressure. You don't typically want to peek like this, though, because this is an easy way to die from someone who just quick peeks that, or, you know, it's like sitting in here already. But what you could do with sledge, you can start, or buck, you can start breaking out the floor. So I'm just going to, like, break out the floor so you can kind of see all the good angles. You can't go up top to kill the people in bakery, which is why bakery is so strong, because the only way to kill them is basically just straight up kill them. You can't just like kill them from verticality. But basically, if I open this up, you'll start seeing how things look like in a second. Ideally, you don't want to break open all of this, right? But just like pick some spots that are like really good. Like for example, I don't have any breach charges remaining. That's kind of funny. People like to play around this counter, so I would actually go like right here. I don't have any breaching left, but like right here is a good spot because people like playing by this like back wall. Another good spot is right here because, like I said, some people play like in this area, especially behind this counter, and this is a really easy way to kill them. So like right here is a good spot. You can also open up freezer, you know, if you think someone's playing in here, and if this is reinforced and you can't, like, you know, break this open, you can always break this open to see if someone's playing in there. Just be mindful for C4 and things like that. By just doing this, you're just adding the element of verticality, and that just makes it so that people, like, when you open it up, even if you don't kill someone on it, they're going to be a lot more wary of basically playing under this now. And like I said, the other thing you can do in terms of thermites, and that's why we play a castle strat in bakery, and why we put this castle up here, and why we have the dock playing over here, is because this wall is another common thing to open up with thermite. So that's why we usually have that castle strat, and then the dock playing over here, because if they try and, you know, come and break this, we might have a person roaming here and might have a dock here to just kind of kill them. We usually don't put bandits on this one because this wall isn't as important. We either put the bandits on these two or these two, depending on like what we want to do here. Those two on the freezer wall are like mandatory though. But like I said, like if someone's playing like here, you can break open this floor, which is at the very end of train, and you can just kind of like kill them really easily. Another thing that people usually do is play behind this counter. So another thing you can do is break open this, which I'll go up top and show you it in a second. But this is like another common spot, like behind these. Then I already showed you how some people like to play behind this, and you can just kill them straight on the fireplace. And then obviously a few people play freezer if they're like actively bandit tricking, but usually people don't play in here because it's a death trap. Another thing to note is you can actually throw a frag grenade over this. These are always open. So if you're really good, you can kind of just like toss one there and kill someone that's playing in here. But yeah, I guess I'll just show you that last spot to like kill a person from like a vertical play. It is right here, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, it's right over there. If someone is playing here, a thing that we like to do besides just droning out is I believe you can vault up. Let me see if I can do this. There's a way to vault up on this truck unless they patched it. I don't. Maybe you have to be a 3-speed. I'm not really sure how to get the angle. There might be a video explaining it, but you can vault up on this truck and it gives you a good headshot angle here. Maybe you have to. Yeah, that's what you do. So you come up here. Ideally, you do this before the barricades open. And then you come on the hood of this car. It's not really a great... I remember it being better. It's not really a great angle. But it is there if you'd like to use it. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for this map. There are, you know, 2 other sites, but typically those are the least played sites. I guess for in terms of attacker composition to attack this site, Thermite, Thatcher for sure, Sledge and Buck are amazing, and then like an Ash Sophia if you want that extra soft destruction, or like a Jackal. That is basically it for this map.